to you just to clarify what we need and how we need the information to be presented. And of course, you will have the possibility to address questions you may already have. So to make it easier, I'll share my screen with you. And when I start, I will just have a really short, very short presentation of the Ernst von Siemens Music Foundation, and then we'll go to our main theme, the application process for the project funding. And after each topic during this webinar, I'll make a short break, so you'll have the opportunity to ask general questions regarding this topic. And at the end, we can have a short question and answer session. So if there are still questions open, we'll have the opportunity to talk about it. Just one request, if you really have very specific questions. There are still about nearly 3 weeks until the deadline on March 1st. So later on, we'll still have time to discuss them either by phone or via email. So we'd like to stay in the next hour really in all the general questions, not the real project specific ones, if it's possible. So just a few sentences to the Ernst von Siemens Music Foundation. We are a Swiss foundation. The foundation was founded in 1972. And we award several prizes and fundings. I think the most famous one is the Ernst von Siemens Music Prize. This year, Jordi Savall will be awarded. Then we have composers' prizes for younger composers. Just as a note, it's not possible to apply for these composers' prizes. The candidates are chosen and nominated by our board solely. It's possible to send us applications for the 3 coming prizes and project fundings. So we have the ensembles prizes. With this prize, the foundation wants to support the artistic development of young ensembles. If you are interested in the ensembles prize, if you're working for a younger ensemble with focus on contemporary music, the deadline for this prize is March 1st as well. You can find all information about it on our website, or you can contact my colleague in charge for the ensemble prizes is Imke List. You can find all her contact details on our website. We have a special funding for youth projects, but the deadline there is in October only. It's a special funding project. And what we want to have a look today at is our project funding. So perhaps a few words about what the Music Foundation does provide funding for. So we support all kinds of projects that have its focus on contemporary music. Within this field, we really support all kinds of projects like concerts or festivals, composition commissions. We support educational projects as well as academies, sound art and installations. We fund symposia or publications of musicological writings. If you are not sure if your project fits in the profile of the foundation, first thing is you can either give a call to my colleague Jenny or me and ask if we think if it fits, or if you want to have a look first, we have on our homepage, you can find an overview of all our funding projects, the current ones and the we also have an archive there. So I think it gives a good overview and an impression of what we do. One important thing is that although we are a Swiss foundation, we don't have a focus neither on German and Swiss composers. We really support projects worldwide. And of course, after telling you what we do provide funding for, there are, of course, a few things that we can't support. So what we can't do, we can't grant a general institutional promotion. It always has to be a specific project we do support. Furthermore, we can't support internal university projects. We do not award scholarships, nor recordings, and we can't fund printing costs for dissertations. As well as there's that, unfortunately, it is not possible to resubmit an application that has already once been discussed by our board. Okay, I think I will make a first short break and ask if someone has a question regarding what we do support, what we don't support, if there are some questions open. No questions, so I'll just go on. So we have 2 deadlines a year to which you can submit the application. The first one is on March 1st. This one is for projects that do not start earlier than July 1st. And the second one is October 1st for projects not starting earlier than January the following year. So the next deadline is October 1st, 2026 for projects starting in January 2027. As you can see here, because this is asked several times, is important for the foundation, or more important is the starting date of the project, not the end of the project. So perhaps you're planning a long-term project, and application for long-term projects may be submitted well in advance. For example, if you want to commission a composition and the first performance will take place in 2027 or even at the beginning of 2028, and you're already so far with the plannings, you could submit the application right now. The only important thing is that we need a project that is planned until the first performance. So you can't just ask us to support a new composition. You must have the idea where the first performance shall take place, with which ensemble, and should send us a complete cost and financing plan. Our funding mode is that each institution can submit 1 application per deadline. From each institution, we can fund 1 project a year. And there's a maximum of 3 years in a row that we can support 1 institution. Then there always has to be a break, an interval of at least 1 year in this funding row. So does anyone have a question regarding deadlines, funding modes, when you can submit the application, which is the right date, when the project should take place, regarding all these questions? No questions, so I'll go on. So one important point is who is authorized to submit an application. Authorized to submit the application is always the organizing institution or the ensemble that is involved in the project. So institutions may be, for example, concert halls, festivals, ensembles, orchestras staging a project, or if we are talking about publications, perhaps a publisher who is publishing a musicological publication. So any kind of organizing institution, regardless of the legal form. And not authorized to submit an application are individuals, so single persons. And an important point is that you can't submit an application for yourself. This is sometimes really important for smaller ensembles where perhaps the composer is involved in the ensemble and is also the managing head of the ensemble. Then this person shouldn't submit the application and ask for money for him or herself, because we can't fund the applicant, him or herself. I've just one point I saw while I was talking, as I think, Jenny, you can help me. I saw some questions in the chat, written in the chat. If you have a question, perhaps you can just ask me, just put up this nice yellow hand and I can see and you can talk to me, because it's pretty difficult for me to talk and read while I'm talking. Perhaps you can just, when I'm making a break, if you have a question, just, okay, I see the first hand. This is what I meant. So Alice, do you have a question? Yes.
Hi, yeah, sorry,
Hi.
I just slightly missed the moment and then thought I'd put it in.
No, it's perfect. I just said I saw it while I was talking, but my English is not so fluent that I can talk and read in the same time.
Yeah,
It's
of course.
not possible. Sorry for that.
No, not at all. It was just around the start date of a project and whether there is some, not really flexibility, but say we're looking at what program to apply for at the moment, but it could be for our artist in residence program for composers. And if like the selection process was going on, but activity wasn't delivered until after 1st of July, whether that would count or whether we wouldn't be able to sort of launch, advertise, do any of that because it's too.
I
That
hope
counts
I
as the start of
understood
the
it
project.
correctly. Sorry, so you wanted to ask if a project, if it has already started in a way, if you can apply for, or if it has to start after the application deadline?
I guess
Or,
I'm thinking about what counts as the start.
okay, it's pretty flexible.
Mhm.
It's what we can't support if there is if you commission a new piece and perhaps the first performance is on July 2nd. We'd
Yeah.
say, okay, this is pretty late to ask for, even if we say the project can start there. But if you already have commissioned a new piece and the first performance is maybe in September, it's okay. You shouldn't be in the middle of the rehearsals so it might be too late. So, but it's flexible. It can have started even, because I know this is often with institutions that no money should have been paid at the moment you apply for this. Even this is fine for us. It's just a feeling of just a feeling. So if it's okay, you think, okay, it might fit, that's fine. And if you're not sure, if you really have a specific question regarding one project, just give us a call and we can have a look at it and say, okay, you may submit it to this application deadline.
That's really helpful. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. I don't know how to pronounce the name where you are from. Ronan Diers.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you? Thank you. Yeah, Ronan Diaz. I'm with the New World Symphony in Miami Beach. How are you?
Okay. Hi.
I'm sorry, I just missed the very beginning in terms of what programs of contemporary music do you specifically fund? I think you mentioned concerts and ensembles, and there were a few more.
All kind of projects that have its focus on contemporary music.
Okay.
Just
All
everything,
kinds.
all kinds. Just
Okay.
festivals, concerts, commissions, educational projects, just all kinds of projects. The important thing, focus on contemporary music.
Okay, perfect. Thanks so much.
Okay. Alain Amini?
Yes, greetings all the way from Uganda. Just a quick one to know, when we talk about who is authorized to submit an application, what should be the legal form of the organization being registered in the country where they are applying from, so that we can prepare the papers needed for this. Thank you.
The institution, we don't have a specific rule for the legal form. Important for us is, at the end, we can't transfer money on a private bank account. So there's always have to be from some kind of institution. If it's a small ensemble, a duo, but we don't ask for the legal form before.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Very helpful.
Welcome. So Shidan. Sorry for my question mark always at the end. I'm never sure how to pronounce your name, so it's always like a question when I ask you to answer. Sorry for that.
It's okay. Hello. I have a question because I work I work in France, the orchestra, the organization, and we are planning to 2 weeks of the orchestra academic combined with the rehearsal. So for us, we are not sure we should choose a festival or academic, because for us in the morning we were more focused on the academic, because the musician need to train, and then at night they will have a concert, and in this kind of case we're during like 2 weeks. So could you tell me which categories will be suited for us?
Actually, this is not really important. We don't have different budgets for the different categories.
Okay.
We just have this. If you already have taken a look at our application form, we ask for the category in there, because sometimes for us it's easier when we start to read the applications. But it's not that if we have from our whole budget separated 7 budgets and say, okay, we have that kind of money in here and that in here. We just have one amount of money, and we don't have to, so it always changes. When we look at the end of the year at our projects, so sometimes, some years we have really much more academic projects and few concerts, more festival. It really depends on the project. So take one of the choices you have in there, but it's not important.
Okay, thanks so much. And also I have a question, is your foundation, is it possible to support about the competition? Because we were planning international competition. So is it possible to apply for the project?
It's pretty difficult. I'd rather say no, because then before we don't know whom we do support, because you choose the winners later on. So we should support a project and don't know who we do support. It's better if you have a project where you know everything about, you know all the names, you know the composers and the artistic participants, rather take these projects to apply for.
Oh, so it means if if our competition is in the middle, and then we already know all the compositor, and then is it possible to apply for it?
Perhaps you can send it to me. I can have a look at it if you send me an email in the specific way, and I will tell you if it's possible or not. I think this is easier.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Just in the next day, I'll give you my contact details at the end of the webinar, and then you'll just send us an email, and we can really focus on, and you can be sure that I give the right answer, because it's a bit difficult to judge it just with this information.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, and Sachel Riemtsma.
Hi, thank you. I wanted to ask, our project includes a composition and is already the bigger part is already funded, but that includes the composition. If we apply, can we also apply for other parts of the project, for example, production costs or rehearsal space for actors and so forth, or is it solely for musicians?
No, I'll come later on to what part you can apply for. We mainly support artistical costs. I will come to this later on.
Okay,
to this
thank you very
point.
much. And a second question, only if I heard that correctly, we need to have a venue already, is that correct?
Yes, as at least we have to know that you have an idea in which venue you want to play, and we need letters of interest or cooperations from the venues. I'll come to that later on as well. Because the more concrete it is planned, we can't support just a commission or something where too many details are not fixed. Not everything has to be fixed, but some parts have to. So it's not a must for all points, but at least several points have to be fixed, then others can be open.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. And Duccio Beverini. Sorry.
Yeah, I think now you can hear me.
Yes,
I just want to ask if I've understood correctly. And the ensemble involved in the project can apply, but then the applying person or the manager, let's say, cannot be an artist involved, cannot get.
No. It can be involved. It's especially important because this sometimes happens as a composer, often in these new music ensembles, a composer composes for its own ensemble, and this composer is also head of the ensemble. So applying for a composition commission, so then you apply for money for yourself, and this is not possible. Okay. If the applicant is part of the ensemble and you ask for wages and fees, then it's okay. Sometimes it's better even if there's another person, but if it's not specifically a composition position or the main part of what you apply for, then it's possible. It's just self-applications are not possible, so it's some kind of how it does work.
Okay, I understand. And in our case, it's just a musician. As it's me. I'm a musician in the ensemble. I'm the manager too, but I'm not the composer. Okay.
Okay. So then it will perfectly work.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll come to the next point: how to apply. As I already said, we have an online application form. So we have an online portal. You have to register there once, and then you get the data to log into the portal. So with the application, you need to fill in an application form, send this to us. You can send us a dossier, and we need a cost and financing plan. With these documents, actually, we want to give you the opportunity to present your project in a good way and to give us the information we need to know, the information about your ensemble, the institution, the involved artist. And so to try, perhaps sometimes what is difficult for us, sometimes we support projects really worldwide. And of course, our board knows many ensembles, many composers, but we can't know all ensembles, not worldwide, not all venues, not all composers. So you should really present the project and everyone who is involved in the project in this application process in the way that we really understand, okay, what are you planning? Who is our partner, whom we are talking to? Where shall the project take place? And this information you should give us, of course, in the application form, there we just ask for the general questions like the applying institution, the applicant. We ask for a project description, a short one, for your project objectives, and we also ask for your sustainability activities. If there are points in your project you haven't firmly planned when you send us the application, maybe you're in the application project, perhaps you're in the beginning of planning the project, and you're still unsure how something will take place or where it shall take place, or if perhaps the musicians haven't fixed the contracts and you're still in discussion with them, we really ask you to make this clear. Perhaps we're the first institution you sent an application to, you're in the beginning. It's okay for us as long as we know that these things are not fixed and you're at the beginning of realizing or planning the project. All things you send us should be written either in German or in English, not only in the application form, but also in the dossier. So in addition to the form, you can send us this dossier to share further relevant information that could not be included in the application form. This dossier can be up to 8 pages long, and what you write in there is really depending on the project type you apply for. So just to give you a few examples, if you plan a concert or a festival, you should give us your program ideas and concepts, complete concert program, short biographies of the participating artists and ensembles. If you plan a symposium, you should give us information about the participating speakers and the conference program, and if it's possible, already abstracts of presentations. So it's really depending on the project, which information you give us in this dossier. The only thing we ask for is that it's not longer than 8 pages and it's formatted readable. In our application form, we have really very detailed formatting guidelines, but they are not important. It's just, it should be readable. And of course, this as well should be in English or German. Okay, and I see some questions. First one is Ronan Deers.
Yeah, hi. So
Yes.
the dossier, how do we access that, or how do we create that? Is there a document that we have to fill out, or how does that work?
It's just, it can be a Word document. You just upload it there.
Okay, so just a Word document.
Yes, just anything you PDF and just upload.
Okay, perfect. And also, second, I'm sorry, I got cut out for my internet cut out. You required like a full operating budget for any kind of program?
Yes, we need a full budget. I'll come to a really complete and detailed cost and financing plan.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, Lily McAteer?
Yes, that was correct.
That's it.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is, with the dossier, can we include media? Can we include images or links to images or video?
Yes, you can, but we also need, I'll just show you, in addition to the dossier, you can send us more material via a cloud link. You can insert a cloud link there, especially if you, via this cloud link, you can or you should have to send us material for younger, rather unknown composers. And of course, we say here, okay, exemplary scores and recording, but of course, videos, or if you're planning an installation or something, yes, just you have video material with that you can explain the project to us. You can insert it here in this cloud.
Great, thank you.
So I'm already at the next point. I'll just go through here. Then I saw Ronan Deers. I'll come to you later. I will just say a few words to this additional material, because via this cloud link, as I said, you can send us material for younger, rather unknown composers. If you're not sure if we do need material or not, please ask Jenny or me before, because we've noticed that sometimes, even if it's just Great Britain or so, some composers are really known there. So the applicant thinks, well, we don't have to send material because everyone knows this composer, and we have to recognize that we don't know him, or not every member of our board just know this composer. So if you're not sure, please ask us. You can never send us too much material, just not enough material. And if we don't have material and we need it, we can't support this project. So rather ask us before, send us what it is. And just to explain you why we ask really to upload material in a cloud and not just send us the links to home pages or YouTube links, because on home pages, composers' home pages, pretty often there are no scores on there, and not even always sound files. And if it's possible to upload material there and not send us YouTube links, we get several hundred applications to each deadline. And if you get only YouTube links for each composers, you also have to watch several hours of advertisement while clicking through these YouTube links. So if you have other possibilities to send us material, that's perfect. If you only have YouTube links, you can also send these to us. And something new, perhaps if someone already sent an application and submitted one to the foundation. So for the first time with this deadline, we'll need letters of intent from the participating artists, from the most important participating artists, and from your co-production partners and venue confirmations. These confirmations and letters of intent, they don't have to be formal, can be short emails, just two sentences from a composer or a participating artist, like, yes, I'm informed about this project, and if it will take place, I'm happy to take place. That's all. So we just have to know that everyone who should be involved in the project is already informed. Okay, Ronan Deers, you've got a question.
No, where do we access the cloud, the cloud link?
You insert it in the application form as well.
Okay.
It may be a cloud you choose. We don't have regulations. What's important for us is that we don't need a password to get onto the cloud, and that the material is freely accessible in the cloud until our meeting, and our meeting will take place beginning of May.
Okay, perfect.
And please don't use a data transmission service where the access is only valid for a few days, because the material should be accessible for the 2 months from the application, from the deadline until the meeting.
Okay.
And it shouldn't be a service where you have to download the files, because then especially our board, they have to download all the material on their computers, which won't work when it's too much.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Are there any more questions regarding this additional material, or the cloud link, confirmation letters? No.
One question,
okay, there's one more. Yes.
From me. Hello.
Hi.
In case we want to apply for vocal cycle commission, shall we upload in the same genre his previous works in vocal cycles, for example, genre, or it means that we can apply, upload different like instrumental works as well, or it's more relatively to apply to upload the same genre to plus a score.
Well, it doesn't have to be the same genre. You can upload the material with that you think to be the composer's best represented.
Okay.
So it's really up to you. And if you think, okay, these 3 works are perfect to present the composers because they really show what he does and how he does, and then you take these. It's really up to you. Actually, I think this really gives you the opportunity to choose the works to present it in the way you want to work with a composer.
Okay. Thanks.
And there's one more question, I think 2 more questions from Alain Mini.
Yes, thank you so much. This is actually very great, and I think everyone will appreciate it that you are able to give us the platform to ask a question before an application. This doesn't happen everywhere and every day. So for me, I think I belong to the smaller group with the composers which are not known, which makes it probably difficult for us. And at the same time, my group of the children, we do music, but on top, we do also climate action. We do prioritize mental health, cultural exchange, and then at the end, we conclude all our activities with a concert. So I wanted to know, should our application be for climate change, for example, music for climate change, or should it include everything what we do as activities, and then we conclude it with a concert? That would be helpful to know, so that we know which area should we concentrate on.
Perhaps you can send it to us before as well, because I'm just wondering, as I said before, it's not the application deadline now, but we have a youth project line. Where's the deadline in October? Perhaps even the project, if I got it right, would work better there. Perhaps you can send this to us before and we'll have a look at it, so you present it in the really best way to the best deadline.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I will give you the email addresses later on at the end.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, I have Ronan Deers. Is it still the hand up, or you have one more question?
No, sorry, my hand was still up. No, I have no questions.
It's okay. I was just wondering. So Alex Pauk, you've got a question?
Yes. I'm wondering what the word sustainability means when you have that.
It's sustainability in the widest way you can think about it, with all aspects. And to say the truth, it's not really, it's just an information. If you give us these sustainabilities, and actually we would like you to think about sustainability activities, but it's never, sorry, I'm missing the English words. It's never a point where we should say, okay, there are no sustainabilities activities, we don't support this project. And it's really in the widest way with all aspects you can think about.
So you mean the health of your organization to continue is what you want to see, or that you've been sustained over time, or?
No, your sustainability with the project really from either, okay, we don't take flights, we only travel by train, and we have local food, and we ask our audience to come with buses and not with cars, and all these we don't have printed scores, we use scores in all things you have in mind when planning the project for sustainability activities.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and she done?
Hello. I have another question. It's about I saw the online form. They have one is about the event dates. So if we because before the deadline, we are not sure about the exactly the day and the location. Do we need to put or something, or just because now we are not sure yet?
You have to put it in, so at least we have a time frame, but there's a small place under it. You can write in there, okay, so you can explain it like, we are thinking about to play there and we would like to have this venue, but it's not fixed at the moment. So
Okay.
we can see the status you're working in. You shouldn't insert is the dates and the venue as fixed if it's not fixed, and just write a short explanation so we can see, okay, this is what you want to do and at which part of planning you are.
Okay, because our project will be in the same area, but we are not sure is which city, because during the 2 weeks we will go to different cities, so we are not sure which exactly day, which exactly the location.
No, we don't need it. We just need the frame. We
Okay,
don't
thank
need
you.
the
Okay.
exact date. The frame is perfectly fine.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
And Sophie Case.
Yes, hello. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Thank you for your time for the webinar. It's all very helpful. I've got a quick question, please. In terms of the size of the cultural venue, do you have any limitations in terms of income or anything that would mean that we are unable to apply? No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Thank you so much.
Just
Thank you.
no limitations. Just
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
okay. So I'll go on and come to the most not liked part of the application, the cost and financing plan. But it really is a significant document of the application. And you should send us a tabular budget plan with all costs and the complete income, and the cost and financing plan should be balanced. This sounds pretty obvious, but it really is important because we can't support a project that ends in a deficit. So perhaps the Ernst von Siemens Music Foundation, we are the first foundation you ask for money for. So you don't have to, not all, I'm sorry, I lost the point. But so income minus expenditure should be zero. At least you must have a plan how you want to finance the complete project. And we need a complete cost and financing plan for the entire project, even if you are perhaps only requesting support for a commission. We always need a cost and financing plan, at least for the premiere concert. I think I've already been asked before what we do support. We do mainly support artistic costs, not only, but mainly. And how much do we support? So the foundation supports, we do not finance a project. We can't finance a project. So the foundation shall not provide full funding of projects. The amount you can ask for depends on the total project volume and the support from other funders. Ideally, at least one additional institution or foundation should contribute in a similar amount to what is requested from the foundation. It's not always, but often a general guideline that the requested grant sum should not exceed 1/3 of the total project costs. And grants over 50,000 euros are only awarded really in rare exceptional cases. All these points you can written on our homepage, as everything I'm talking about today, you can written on our homepage. But especially this, the amount for you ask for is important, because if the requested amount is far higher than, for example, the individual financial contributions of the other project supporters, the project cannot be supported. So it's pretty important for which amount you apply for. And I already see the first two hands up. So it's Lily McTeer first.
Hi, with the financials, should those be in euros, or if we use the US dollar, can it be in dollars?
Yes, can be in dollars. So we always speak our support in euro, but we count before. You can send us the normal, because you're accounting with the dollars, so you should send it to us in dollars.
Great. And our request amount, should that be in euros, however?
No, it can be in dollars as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and Mr. Deers?
Yes, hi, I'm back again. So just to verify, you mainly fund artistic costs, so meaning no admin or overhead cost.
Part. It can be a part of it, but the main part should be artistic costs. So the most part of what you ask for should be artistic costs, but other costs can be in there as well.
Okay, great, thank you.
But not the main part.
Not the main part, okay. Thank you.
Any more questions regarding cost and financing plan? I can give you, I know it's difficult. As I said before, we really support all kinds of projects, so we can't give you a general cost and financing plan with all the small key points you should insert in there. But here are some ideas. It's mostly for concerts and performances for orchestras. These are some points that could be in your cost and financing plan, like personal fees, artist fees, travel transportation costs, event production expensive, marketing, public relation, all these points. It should be detailed, the cost and financing plan you send us. The most detailed should be the artist costs, the fees. So we see the amounts for each artist. And perhaps one thing that is important as well, that the comparable artistic achievements should be rewarded equally, of course, regardless of gender or origin. It's important for us as well. And regarding the financing, you should indent there the income you're calculating with, including ticket prices. If you plan concerts that are free access, it's perfectly fine for us as well. You can just explain it in there. So we don't think, oh, something is missing in there. Just give us a short explanation. You should indent there grants that are already awarded and the funding you applied for or you want to apply for. If you have your own contribution to it, and of course the funding amount you apply for at our foundation. Often there are changes in the cost and financing plan between the time you submit the application and we have our meeting. As I said, meeting will be beginning of May. So we always ask you to keep us updated via the application portal. So you should send us decisions of other funders. Perhaps you already secured money where you sent us the application that was not secured until that point of time. And of course, you should give us information about project changes and information about the decision of our curatorium we'll give you until end of May. Okay, as you can see, I'm already at the end of what I wanted to talk about today, but perhaps there are still some questions. Not at the moment, but sometimes it is that perhaps in the next hour, okay, see the first question, but sometimes perhaps either tomorrow or beginning of next week, or when you fill in the application form, here are my colleagues and my telephone number and our email addresses. You can find them on our homepage as well. And we really ask you, if you have questions while filling in the application form, or you're not sure which information we need or not, please ask us before. It's really easier to answer these questions before you submit the application. And it is a pity for us as well when we can't discuss a project and we think, okay, it might be great, but we can't discuss it because there's a lack of information or we don't have material we need. So ask us before, and do us a favor, don't ask too many things or give it too much information in the, 3 days before the application deadline, because there we can't find the time to answer your questions with the time they need. So next week would be perfect. Okay, Gretel, I've got no idea how to pronounce that name. I don't know where you are from. Sorry, I can't hear you at the moment.
There we go. Hello.
Oh, great. Yeah, hello.
Yes, Gretel Kutsia from Namibia. So I think I probably have to apply for a youth project. I just want to make sure it's Youth Orchestras of Namibia, and this March deadline is really for your ensemble projects and new music.
This is really, so the deadline now is for project funded that have its focus on contemporary music. On October 1st, we have the next deadline for our kids and youth projects. And these projects, they don't have to have the focus on contemporary music.
Okay. And will there be another webinar also for those applications?
Well, not a webinar. At least we haven't planned one at the moment. Perhaps we'll do one if there are more questions about it. You can find information on our homepage as well about the kids and youth. It's not that difficult because there the amount you can apply for is fixed. It's always so. But if you are not sure about it, you can always write us, give us a call before.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Okay. And Mr. Hernandez, you've got a question.
Yes, thank you. I have a question regarding the organization who receives the money. I wanted to ask if the organization has to be a constituted, legally constituted organization, or it can be as well a independent organization.
So we don't ask for the legal form, but it has to be some kind of institution and shouldn't be an individual or single person. But we don't ask for the legal form.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, then Mr. Deers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you go over the Kids and Youth project again? Is that a separate application, or is it also through the portal?
Yes, it's a separate application. It's a separate funding profile we have. It's pretty new, and there we do support projects. They don't have to have the focus on contemporary music. It's a bit different because it's not as with this, our normal project funding, where you can apply for specific amounts just focused on your project. But with this kids and youth projects, it's a fixed amount you can apply for. And there I have to take a look at my colleague. How many projects? She will take over. She will explain. She's better with this.
25,000. I post the link to the youth funding in the chat so you can see it. I posted in the beginning of the webinar.
Okay.
So the next deadline is October 1st, and you can apply beginning of July. The system will be open, but it's
Okay.
completely different.
And
There's no
that's also
focus
for
on contemporary music, so the kids and children are really in the focus of the projects, should be in the focus of the projects.
okay, and but that's also
So
like
in 26, we founded 20 projects. They will be published in the next weeks on our website. So have a look.
okay, but that's also going to be that could be concerts and ensembles and everything, but
Yes,
just not focus. Okay.
but really the focus should be in the transfer from the music to the children.
Okay.
And the children
that-
should be involved in the projects.
Okay, and that's if we can apply for that beginning July 1st, you said.
Yeah, the application system will be open and you should apply until the deadline is October 1st.
Okay.
For
Thank you.
projects beginning in January 27.
Okay, okay, got you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, and Mrs. Amaroli.
We can't hear you. Ich kann es nur deaktivieren.
I'm sorry, I was not able to activate the microphone. I'm very sorry.
Great.
Thank you for
Now
being
we do hear
patient.
you.
Okay, thank you. I have an easy question. Maybe you half answered already, but I want to be sure. May the same institution apply both for a normal, so to say, project for contemporary music and for the youth project?
Yes, that's possible, even in
Okay.
the same year.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, and Shidan, you've got a question?
Yeah, it's me again. I was heard about for the deadline before the March 1st. This project only supports contemporary music. What
Yes.
about symphony orchestra? Because or is the meaning to do this? So is it possible to apply this project?
To which kind of projects? So all
Because
projects you apply for now until March 1st, they must have the focus on contemporary music. Because
okay,
the Music Foundation only supports projects that have the focus on contemporary music. The only exception from this is our Kids and Youth program.
okay, got it. And then another question is about the youth project. This one, what is specific for the age about the kids? Because I'm not sure yet.
They can have all age. It's just from 3 years until, I don't know, 21.
Oh, okay, maximum 21.
It's about all.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. My colleague just wrote a question that's written in the chat to me. So there was the question if it's possible to apply in one application for a composition commission and artistic fees in the same application. It is possible as long as you have in mind the amount you can apply for, so that the amount you apply for is not too high. Then it's possible. Okay, Alexander Shushinsky, you've got a question?
Yes.
Yes.
Just a step back to the question, this point about costs. Just the situation, if we are already secured, we just received a largest grant, for example, like let's say 25,000, and and we applied as well for two funds, smaller, for example, like 10,000 each of them. And what amount can we apply for? I mean, what would be eligible? Because we maybe due to the terms, for example, we will not have responses from these smaller grants until 1st of March. And shall we like apply for 25 only, or or amount could be like in common 25 plus 10 and plus 10, for example, like 45?
No, we
So-
don't. You shouldn't sum up the amounts you get from other institution, but it's about the highest amount you get from one other institution. So if you got, I don't know, 25,000 from another foundation, so you can apply for 25, perhaps 30,000 euro. But it's not, so if you have 3 foundations that give 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, then you shouldn't apply at our foundation for 30,000. It could be something about 10, perhaps 15 or 17 or so, but not 40,000 or 30,000. So it's always, it should be in a balanced relationship to what other foundations give and how they do support. This is about this normally it ends at the highest possibility 1/3 of the complete budget. Then normally it works out just as a guideline.
Yeah, it's clear. It's clear. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so I don't see any questions. We're a little over the hour. I'm sorry for that. If you still have questions, okay, I see one question now. Mr.
Yeah, sorry, just the last one. Yeah, I wanted to know if it's possible to add a project description aside of the formula, because we have a very well-designed PDF for that. Is it possible to add it aside of the formula and then to reference to it in the formula? Or do you need a specific text in the formula?
We need a short description in the form, a short one.
Okay.
So it's important for us, especially in our meeting. Of course, we prepare, our board prepares before, but in the meeting, you can't start reading everything again. So you can read the dossier and all information and make notes, but in the meeting, when you have, I don't know, 350 applications to discuss, you look at the form, you have the short project description, and if you really give us all the information, who, what, where, when, why, in a short way, you can remember all the big information you gave us in the dossier, and we're able to discuss it.
Okay, perfect.
That's why we have the short
That's really
project
clear.
description in there. It doesn't have to be a highly literally text or something. Just give us, this is really for giving in a short way, in a precise way, the information, and everything you want to add, you have the possibility in the dossier and the additional material.
Of course, yeah. Okay, thank you. I understand.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Okay, so all upcoming questions, all specific questions really regarding your project, if you're not sure, so give us a call. We're German time, reachable in the mornings until about 2 p.m. So sometimes it might be easier if you send us an email, and if it's really project specific, you can send us a project description with it, or if you are not sure, the cost and financing plan. So we can take a look at these things before you submit the application and perhaps give you an advice like, yes, it's perfect, send it like this, or okay, you should change something here or so. If you really have questions, just let us know. And thank you for your time. I hope it could help you, but if you're missing something, perhaps later on you think, oh, there was a point missing, write us an email. We'll do the webinar, well, not for you, but for perhaps there are more people interested, we could add it in there. So if there's something missing or think, oh, this doesn't work, just let us know. And we hope to receive all very great applications for perfect projects. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.